Hey guys, it's Engine Buzz again here, coming at you with a little video. Here we got this 1996 F350 460 big block. She's a beast. Been having a little issue with her lately. Just kind of been stalling out randomly with basically no warning. So I boiled it down to two things. There's either air getting into the fuel rail, which would mean there's a leak in the system or breach in the system somewhere, so air's getting in. Or two, I narrowed it down to potentially the ignition coil. So I'll show you where that's at. We're going to try to keep this quick and simple. If you look right here, that's your ignition coil right there. How you can tell that, you can just look at the top of your rotor pack here, and you can follow that middle wire down back through to the ignition coil. I haven't took this off before yet, so I'm going to kind of figure it out as I go. But for now, I'm going to go pick one up and kind of go from there. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we just got our part here. Went to the old trusty AutoZone, picked ourselves up a 1-year Duralast. So yeah, we're going to try to put her on. It's going to be challenging here. We're coming from Michigan. It's about 9 degrees. Wind chill of -7. It's colder than a witch's tit. The roads are slicker and shit, and if you don't dress warm enough, you're probably gonna get sick. So feel free to drop a like, because this is no easy task. Probably the hardest part about these repairs, honestly, is the filming. But hey, I'm there for you guys. I haven't really found any videos on this, which is kind of weird. So hopefully this is helpful. So drop a like, comment, and share the video, right? All right, let's get started. All right, guys, here we have the new ignition coil. It's gonna be pretty simple. We just got 4 screw holes on each side here. And you look down here, we got those 4 screws. It's gonna be a 7/32. But it looks like it's gonna be pretty simple. I'm gonna try to do the best I can filming. But the first thing we're gonna do is unplug our main ignition wire there. And we'll see if we can get this bad boy. All right, guys, pull out this clip down here. Super simple. You just take a flathead and you push it out. Just like that. Just like so. All right, now we got the connections disconnected. We're gonna work on taking off these 4 screws. This one right here, 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 and then down there. Again, that's 7/32. So I'm gonna see if I can get that on film too. So. All right, we got those 4 screws removed. These bottom ones are pretty challenging. But we got it out, so now we should be able to just simply, I believe, just pull this right out, just like this. Oh, well, there goes that other screw. I didn't really feel like putting it back in anyways. All right, got this bad boy out. We're gonna kind of do a little comparison to the new one, just to make sure they're the same thing. Take a look at that. Yep, looks good. We're gonna throw her in now. All right, now that we got our part in place here, we're just simply gonna do the reverse of what we did to put it in, obviously. So we're just gonna proceed to put those screws back in, and then plug the harness in, and we're ready to go. All right, guys, we got all 4 bolts in. I ended up finding that one that dropped down there. This is pretty simple. All you have to do now, take your connection, push it in there nice and snug, make sure she clips in. Probably might end up putting some electrical tape at the end there to kind of clean that up a little bit. A lot of these wires are exposed. All right, so we've got the harness plugged in. Now we're gonna plug in that main ignition coil wire, which is nice and snug. I'm not gonna be putting any dielectric grease on here because I personally don't like it. I honestly think that was a problem with this originally. I had pulled it off and there was some dirty grease on there, wiped it off and it started right back up. So I think that was part of the problem, but we've got everything plugged in here. Also, this goes without saying, make sure your ignition is turned off before you do any of this because there still could be charge in the pack. But now we're just going to proceed to try to start it up and see if this was the issue. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel here. We're going to go ahead and try to fire it up. Just got that new ignition coil in. It was kind of a chore. Definitely very cold. I'll let that fuel pump get nice and primed up, and then we'll give her a crank. All right, boys, she's running. And that is how we do it here in Michigan. Alright guys, she's still idling pretty rough. Could have something to do with the cold, or we may not have fixed our issue. Regardless, we showed you how to fix, replace the ignition coil, which was the idea of this video here. But a little bit with what I've been dealing with is just truck. Could be similar to what you're having going on, but essentially it just kind of dies out randomly. Generally when I'm shifting from park to neutral or whatever. And I've checked multiple things, mass airflow sensor, neutral safety switch, among a few other things. But whenever I went up there on the fuel rail, and there's a little Schrader valve on the fuel rail to the injectors, if I bleed the fuel, I did two things. I bled the fuel, just a quick little spurt, and then I wiggled the ignition coil wire, and then it started. So it was either ignition coil that was bad, or it was either I'm getting air in the fuel. And if that's the case, it means I got a leak in the system somewhere, which is going to be a lot more challenging to fix. So let's just pray that this ignition coil was the initial problem. But for now on, I'm just going to have to drive her, you know, and just see if she dies again. And if she does, we'll keep on chasing the issue. But thanks for joining us today, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me, and hopefully you get some insight from this. It may not have been the best video, but hey, I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm just here to give you some guidance. And I don't know everything about this, right? This is just me figuring it out and giving you a video throughout the process. So I appreciate the feedback, the good and the bad. It all helps me to improve what I do here. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, share the video. And yeah, thanks for joining us.